Yeah.
How you been?
Good. Can't complain.
What are OTAs like for a punter?
Productive for sure. It's time that I can iron out all the kinks that I worked on, in the off season while I was training, um, but just do it while it's a live snap and protection. So kind of like in a period with a rush. So it's been really good.
How's it been just kind of looking at the new kickoff rules? Have you dug into that at all?
Yeah, we've talked about it here and there with Jeremy and Tom. They're definitely unique. It'll make the game, I think, more exciting. Some chance for big momentum swings in both sides of the ball's favor. I think the kickoff team can make plays, and so can the kickoff return team. So it'll be cool to see how that shakes out.
What's the point of emphasis is the kicker on a play like that? How does that change from the traditional kickoff?
I think it opens room for like alternative stuff. So, I mean, I'm not going to give a ton of it away because it's still a huge work in progress, not just for us, but I'm sure for the other 31 teams.
I guess is there anything maybe you changed in terms of your
training everything.
Off-season?
Oh yeah. You're working on so much different stuff, to try and make the ball do certain things, just so it's harder for the returner to try and judge it.
So you're practicing kickoffs too?
Just yeah.
As like a
I'll say yes. Yes, I am. I'm working on them. Yeah.
The new setup, you got the 10 people in front of you.
Yep.
You're like the last line of defense.
Yeah.
As the kicker.
Yeah. I mean, normally that's the way it is. We trust that the other 10 dudes will do their job, and we have the utmost confidence of that, and we're just there if we need to make a play. But I wouldn't say it's any different than with me in a punt, or for that matter, just the old kickoff rules.
Yeah.
So our job is to be that last line and to try and make a play if we have to. So yeah.
What have you seen from Chad Ryland, his mentality as he moved on from last season?
Yeah, I mean, the kid has always been the hardest worker I've probably ever met. Whether that's in the weight room or in his craft, he cares so much. And I'm not gonna, again, last year was last year. It's the new year now, and we're working on the goals for this season. Last year was last year. We're kind of putting that chapter in the back, and we're always going to look out the windshield, not the rear view. So that's kind of how we're talking about it.
Bryce, how did your training in the offseason vary
Yeah.
going into year 2?
I would say a good deal. I took a lot of time to take care of my body, just with last year going from finishing my season, then we're going into the Senior Bowl, and then in the Combine, and then I'm here all of last season. I hadn't really had a chance to let my body just relax. So I took some time to really take care of my body, and then obviously I ramped it back up pretty quick.
Did you go to a different lot of places geographically?
Yeah. I mean, I was out in San Diego a good deal. That's one of the ideal places to train. I mean, you're at sea level, pretty close to it at least, and there's not a lot of bad weather. So that definitely helps. Other than that, I mean, I've been in and around here, on the nice days. I'd go out and train on an off-site location, but it was good. The first off-season, I learned a lot about, what ways to take care of my body, because you don't always have the full access like we do in this time and during the season. So it was good to have that experience for the first time.
How was it working with Jeremy and the new special team staff as a whole?
It's been so good. It's just nice to be able, to have a lot of good input. And I'm not saying anything about, last year, this year, whatever. But just, I can come to him with anything, and we'll talk about it. We'll work on it. It's really, in my opinion, the lines of communication are very open. I know he knows what I'm trying to look for and work on. I know what he wants me to try and work on. Because, I mean, at this position, people can say it's very monotonous, but there's definitely more than one way to get the results that you want. So that's really what we're trying to strive for.
You had more clubs in your bag, so to speak?
I've worked on some. That's kind of what I was alluding to. With there's always more than one way to get the job done, so I'm trying to develop those other ways. Yeah.
One more
So.
question, guys.
Is that something like just as somebody does a lot of the kickoffs on punts, whatever, experimenting different things to do with the ball, getting
Yeah.
it bounced different ways, flip different ways. Like, how much do you enjoy that process? What's that? Like,
It's
going through
it's
that
fun
process?
because I mean, my job in a nutshell is to kick an odd-shaped ball, and I have no idea how it's going to react when it hits the ground. I can only control from the time that I catch it and kick it. Obviously, the wind plays a factor, but when it hits the turf, however it lands, it's how it's going to land. I can't tell you if it's going to bounce back or not. I want it to. So, like it's cool to be able to see, the ball land a certain way and then figure out ways, maybe a slower rotating ball will land softer and check up more than a fast spinning ball. So how can I change what I need to do on my end to make it rotate slower, whether that's how I hold it, the angle at which I hold it, my foot angle coming into the ball, is it more the meat, toe, whatever it is. And I'll sit for hours and just I'll hit it, I'll watch the film that I take of myself, I'll jot down just little stupid notes like, hey, this worked this time, it didn't work this day, it didn't work when it was downwind, it didn't work when it was into the wind, it worked, all those different things. So it's been cool to tinker around with it. So
All right, thank you guys.
yeah.
Bryce, thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.